and I'm going to give you mine. But I'm going to do it the right way, which means we start with the facts, not the outrage, because the outrage is the least interesting part of this story. Here's what actually happened. Christopher Nolan, a guy who's never made a bad movie, let's just establish that right now, that's not up for debate in this monologue, cast Lupita Nyong'o as Helen of Troy. Not a Helen of Troy, the Helen of Troy. The face that launched 1,000 ships, and half the internet lost its mind before they'd seen a single frame of performance. You know what's funny? Nobody complained this hard when Brad Pitt played Achilles in 2004, and he's about as Greek as a Big Mac. Nobody complained when they cast an English guy to play Alexander the Great and gave him a Kirk Douglas dye job. But you put an Oscar winner, an actual Oscar winner, not some influencer, not some Nepo baby stunt cast, in the most mythologized role in Western literature, and suddenly it's a referendum on the fall of civilization. That's not film criticism. That's something else. And I think everybody watching this already knows what that something else is. So I'm not going to spend the whole video pretending it's a mystery. Now here's what Nyong'o actually said, because everybody's quoting the backlash and nobody's quoting her. She didn't grovel, she didn't apologize. She said the cast is representative of the world and that she's not spending her time constructing a defense. That's it. That's the whole statement. No meltdown, no walk back. And if you've been in this industry, or hell, if you've just watched enough of these cycles play out on this very channel, you know that's usually the sign somebody's not worried, because they've already seen how this movie ends. Let me tell you a story about a movie that got savage before anybody saw it. 1982, Ridley Scott releases a picture called Blade Runner. Test audiences hated it. Critics hated it. It came in behind E.T. at the box office and got treated like a failure. Now, it's on every greatest films ever made list that exists. Or how about this one? A prison drama in 1994 barely made its budget back in theaters. Reviews were lukewarm to confused. Shawshank Redemption. Now it's the #1 movie on IMDb, has been for years. Or, and this one's spicy because it's the same director we're talking about right now, Interstellar. Nolan's own film. Mixed reviews at release. Some critics straight up hated it. Now people cry at the docking scene in film school. You see the pattern? The movies that get the loudest, angriest, most confident backlash before release are disproportionately the ones people are still talking about a decade later. Because controversy isn't the opposite of a hit. Controversy is the marketing campaign. Nobody makes a video with this many dislikes about a movie nobody cares about. So here's my actual take, and I know this is the part where half of you are going to hit me with the angry face reaction, but I'd rather be honest than popular. I think the Odyssey is going to be one of the biggest box office openings of the year. I think it's going to clean up in the exact demographics that are currently the loudest online. And I think in 5 years, film schools are going to point to this exact controversy as the moment Hollywood figured out that a 500,000 dislike trailer and a $1 billion opening weekend are not mutually exclusive. They might actually be the same event. This isn't the death of anything. This is a $250 million bet from one of the only directors alive who's earned the right to make it. And betting against Christopher Nolan has been a losing game for 25 years running. Reviews are already calling it a must-see cinematic event. So go ahead, keep the dislike button warm. I'll see you all in the theater on the 17th, and I'll see you back here if you can like and subscribe to this channel.